Hey guys, Joe, the Joe Madden Sports Podcast, joined this afternoon by Maddie. Maddie, you run a proxy service. I'm so interested to hear about this. Footballcontest.com. It's going to be a great show, but first, how's the day treating you so far?
So far, so good. It's cooled off a little bit. It's only about 100 today. So we had a pretty brutal weekend with it was like in the 110, 112 range and 30, 40 mile hour winds. So it's nice to have just kind of a regular summer day here.
Yeah, absolutely. Those warm summer winds have to be something else down there in Vegas.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's anything worse than that. I'm from Chicago originally, and I used to say, hey, I'll take the hot summers over the cold winters. Now that I'm getting a little older, I'm kind of like, I don't know. The hot kind of wears on you after a while.
I'm sure you're not missing shoveling snow, though, are
No,
you?
no, that's the cold I cannot stand. So it's kind of a toss up, but I'm still on the fence. I mean, I'm still here, obviously, so I'll be here as long as I can still run the football contest proxy service. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Vegas is a great place to be. And when you keep those winds down, beautiful weather. Now, let's talk about your proxy service that you have, Maddie.
Yeah, sure. Well, my partner Tony and we have been doing this since 2009 together. We had served some clients, smaller basic clients prior to that. Back in 2005 is the first time that I put picks in for people. And basically, for people who are not familiar with what a proxy service is, to enter the biggest football contest in Las Vegas, like the Circa Million, the SuperContest, Circa Survivor, you need somebody in Vegas to submit the picks for you in person on a weekly basis. Now, the hardest part is getting to Vegas, which for a lot of people during the summer is not that big of a deal. I mean, they don't mind the hot. They're coming from all over the world to sign up for the contest, but they just need to meet up with us, fill out some paperwork, and basically designate us as the person that's going to put the picks in for them. And then during the season, we go down and spend a few hours at the sports book every week and put them in for you guys so you can make sure that you don't have to worry about anything else but picking winners.
Absolutely. And that's phenomenal. It's a great service you offer because so many people outside of Vegas do enter these contests. Where are you finding the majority of your customers coming from?
Oh, they're from all over. I'm actually looking forward to getting a lot more Canadian clients back because the last couple of years with COVID and everything, it's been kind of hard to cross the border. We've had people who've driven across the border and tried to take flights inside the United States to try to get here. But normally we have a really good core of Canadian clients, and hopefully now that the borders are open and stuff like that, we'll see a lot more of them this year. But really from all over the place. I mean, we've got people in Abu Dhabi, like we've had Australians, people from Ireland, like Mexico, Canada, obviously. And so it's really kind of an international field because all you have to do is get to Vegas. So it doesn't matter as long as you're 21 and you can sign up for an account with the casino sports book, fill out the paperwork, and pay your $1,000 entry fee. That's all that they're really concerned about.
Okay, so now walk us through the process. Say that I want to enter one of the contests.
Yep.
What steps do I take to have you as my proxy server?
Just basically schedule an appointment. You can email us, go to our website, footballcontest.com. There's instructions there. But basically, all you need to do is schedule an appointment. We're at the sportsbook almost every day at pretty much set times where we try to work out with our clients to make sure it works for them. But yeah, I mean, we just need to meet you in person, fill out some paperwork. It takes like 10, 15 minutes tops. And then basically you hand that off to us. And then once football season comes around, we'll send you an email with the instructions on how to log into our website because everything is handled online. So you'll make your picks online with us. We take that information that we get via email, and then we just basically put those picks in, double check everything, make sure everything's good to go. And then we'll email everyone and let them know their picks are in so they could rest easy going into Sunday.
Absolutely. So you started this business in 2005. Where did the concept 2005?
2009 was when
2009,
my
sorry.
partner Tony and I started. We worked together at a company, a sports betting information company, and this is back when the SuperContest was the biggest contest in town, and they only had about 300 entries in that contest.
Okay.
And we kind of saw a need to kind of market the contest, and we knew that they had a great potential to grow. And if you look at where they've come in the last 15 years or so, it's about the entries are about like 10 times as many as they were back then. So we kind of just cornered the market on it. We started off with like about 10 clients. The next year we had 20. Then all of a sudden we had 100, and now we're at over 1,000. So it's kind of just boomed with social media's played a big role in it. The internet in general, just getting out there and being able to show people that these are the biggest contests. I mean, everybody wants to win $1 million, right, Joe? I mean, you want to get in there, make your 5 picks, and you want to be the last person standing maybe in the Circa Survivor contest. We actually had a gentleman that won $1.5 million in that last year by going 20-0 in the Circa Survivor.
Wow.
And so it's everyone's dream. It's kind of like hitting the lottery, but people kind of feel like they have more of an edge when they can pick football games because there was a genuine interest there. It's better than just coming up with random numbers. But some people come up with random numbers and teams, and they do okay doing that as well.
Absolutely. So let's step back to where your interest came from in the sports betting industry.
Just kind of as a writer. I went to school. I worked at the school newspaper at Syracuse University. Then a buddy of mine had told me about an opportunity in Las Vegas to go work for a company called Data Broadcasting Corporation. And what they did was basically, it's going to sound funny, but it was almost like a pocket calculator that you would have to get all your sports information on it. They had real-time line moves. I was responsible for writing like breaking headlines, like any injury information. And yeah, this thing, if you would see it now, Joe, it was ridiculous. It was called Sport Tracks. And it was also kind of, there was a product called Sports Signal that we had that was similar to kind of like Don Best and, that kind of thing where you could track real-time line moves, wrote game previews and things like that. Some of my stuff is featured in the old Stardust casino. So it kind of goes back to, I moved out, in actually 1995 originally. And then I lived in Vegas for 3 years and kind of got my feet wet. And then took a break and went to California for 6 years. Came back in 2005, and that's kind of where I learned more about the contests and everything, and really saw an opportunity to kind of boom that business as the contest grew. We grew, and hopefully the casinos believe that we helped the contest grow as well, because we kind of get the word out there and let everyone know that they can use a proxy to sign up. You don't just have to be in a Nevada resident to enter these contests.
Yeah, absolutely. Expanding the market out to the world realistically. So what is your favorite part of this industry and what you do?
Just seeing people win. I like seeing the success stories, and we have so many clients over the years that have done really well in the contest. Guys who won the SuperContest, SuperContest Gold, the Circa Survivor, as I talked about. We have guys in the top 10 every year who are winning money. And my favorite part of the year is January, when they're all coming in and collecting their big checks. We actually have a check behind me. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, it's giant.
But yeah, that's for one of the guys who won the booby prize in the Circa Million a couple years ago. So that's for finishing dead last, which you could win $100,000 for doing that.
Which is probably harder than it sounds to come in dead last.
It is, yeah. I mean, quite honestly, they've had the booby prize in the Circa Million 2 years now, and we've had the winner both times. And basically the strategy that was used was fading their own picks, like the picks that they wanted to win, they went the opposite way. So these guys are sharp guys, and they just got off to a rough start in the contest. And I've been telling people, even guys I've been signing up so far, I'm just like, hey, you know what? If you get off to a rough start, just go for that booby prize, because if you're like 500 or worse after the first month, it's going to be really hard to like rally and finish in the top. Well, it's the top 100 now, but last year they had the top 50 in the Circa Million and the top 30 in the SuperContest. But to finish dead last, I mean, and you have to have the belief in that your real picks are going to win, so that when you take the opposites, that those are going to do terrible. And it's kind of an interesting mindset to go into. But I mean, the opportunity is there, and especially with the both the Circa Million and the SuperContest, you can win quarterly prizes as well. So you kind of have something to play for, not just the whole season, but broken up into like 3, 4, 5, 6 week increments. You can win money just by getting hot. In fact, I'll tell you a funny story real quick. We had a guy who actually won some quarterly money in the SuperContest last year. He only we made random picks for him over like a 4-week stretch, and they did very well. I think 3 out of the 4 weeks he just was on vacation or something like that, and we just put random picks in for him, and did very well, and it just kind of let him know, hey, you got a shot at this. I think it was $30,000 or something like that, and he said he wanted to make his picks like that last week, and I think he ended up going like 4-1 or something like that. But he won money, but he wouldn't have won money if we weren't putting the picks in for him. So that just kind of goes to show, even if you're out of it, you could just, we'll put random picks in for you and see how we can do. But we've had some success doing that in the past and win some people some pretty good money just by putting random picks in there, because there is a button on the kiosk that allows you to just pick 5 random teams, and you never know how that's going to go, but sometimes it's better than others. But it seems like, hey, if you're getting in $1,000 an entry, if you can win any money, it's good, right?
Absolutely. Any money is definitely good. Love to hear about that booby prize and all of your your customers winning money. That is fantastic. Now, if people are looking for you guys on socials, on the internet, whereabouts can they exactly find you, Maddie?
Yeah, on Twitter, we're at Football Contest, which is pretty easy. And then footballcontest.com as well, as you can see from the t-shirt. So, but we're out there, we're answering questions. I mean, the number one thing that I try to do is be responsive with people. If people have questions, whether it's on Twitter or emailing us, just try to get back to them as soon as possible, because I think the biggest problem people have about entering a contest and forking over like $1,000 an entry for something is depending on somebody and knowing somebody's there that you can count on, that they're professional, reliable. And that's where I think we've really done the best job with is over the years is just we've been doing this for more than a decade. We've got the experience. You can see all the people holding the big checks with us, and just knowing that, if you ever have a question, we'll be on it. We'll get back to you like within seconds, minutes. We just try to be as responsive as possible, just so that you feel at ease. And like I said, the number one thing is just that you don't have to worry about anything else but picking winners, which is, it's the hardest part, obviously. I was joking the other day in another podcast. I said that's the easy part, but it really isn't. It's really difficult to pick the winners. Yeah. So we just don't want you to be stressed out about anything else, especially worrying about whether your picks are getting in. That's all taken care of, and that's what you're paying us for.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the most important part, getting those picks to the window for these contests. And thank you so much for offering this proxy service. It is open across the world to anyone to enter. So you guys make sure you go give footballcontest.com a follow on the internet and on social media. Maddie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Come see us in Vegas this summer. It'll be hot, but you know what? Hopefully we'll see you in January again too, and you're cashing a big check. That's the goal.
Absolutely. Definitely have to get signed up for these contests. So excited to use you as my proxy. Maddie, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
You too. Thanks for having me on, Joe.
Can't wait to have you on again. Take care.